comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun. It's all right. It's all right.
Hiya folks, and welcome to number 5 in my series where basically we're giving thanks to those individuals who've really kept the ukulele going throughout the pandemic. So far I've been to Northern Virginia, I've been to Los Angeles, I was in Wales in the UK. Today I'm in Austin, Texas, and I'm joined by some very good friends of mine, Bob Guz and Jen Richardson. Hello both of you.
Hi.
Good morning, Peter, or good morning for us. Good afternoon for you. Glad you're here.
Absolutely. The time zones, it gets very confusing, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do, folks, is ask you the sort of questions that I've asked everybody else. And then, so I'm going to aim this at Jen to start with, if that's okay. Going back to March of 2020 for us in the UK, it began to get quite serious with COVID, and they decided the only thing we could do to control it was to kind of lock everything down. Now, I don't know whether it was March, April, or May for yourself in the States, but can you tell me, Jen, what happened to you and your group?
Definitely. It was March 2020, and it was Thursday, March 12th, 2020, that we were supposed to have our monthly meeting, since we always meet on the second Thursdays of the month. And Bob and I were talking earlier that week if we should go forward, and we decided yes, definitely. But then that very day, South by Southwest conference was canceled, and we heard rumors that the announcement was coming for the state to shut down from the next day, from March 13th. So we decided 5 hours before game time that our meeting did need to be canceled. And we made all the announcements we could, but also thought that we should show up at the church where we normally hold our meetings. So Bob and I were there about an hour before our meeting began, and let folks know that we weren't going to be meeting in person. And we gave out decals for people who turned up for the Austin Ukulele Society, so that, the effort for driving there wasn't lost. And we promised everyone we'd be in touch as soon as we could figure out a plan for how we would meet in April. But it was at the time, we were in our 10th year, and it was the first time we'd ever canceled a monthly meeting. Yeah. March 2020. Yeah. So it was pretty significant for us to have to actually pull the plug and cancel it, and figure out what was next. But so it began right then, the next day.
So figuring out exactly how were you going to do it, and I guess the only way that could be done is to do it online. And I'd like to bring Bob in there. Bob, what did you kind of think you could do to kind of keep the ukulele going?
Well, it was kind of a scramble, to be honest. Of course, there was so much confusion about how long this was going to be and how things were going to work, but it became pretty clear quickly that we were going to have to transition to do something in an online format. So I had a few pieces of equipment around the house, not very much, and you may recall that suddenly cameras and other kinds of AV equipment became very scarce and very expensive. So I began experimenting with different platforms and approaches for how to do this. Jen was a huge help in helping kind of test out. So I would set up a configuration and loop Jen in, and that's not going to work. And there's a smaller group here that meets in Austin on a weekly basis, and they were very gracious to kind of join in so we could get more guinea pigs into the process to sort of test things as we went along. Part of the issue was that a big part of the tutorials that I do when we meet in person is I have a very large screen with a presentation that has chords and lyrics and lessons and exercises. So I needed somehow to be able to coordinate that component into whatever we were going to be broadcasting online. And Zoom just wasn't working. There were so many little sound issues and linking in the PowerPoint presentation and syncing that up. We tried 3 or 4 different approaches. Ultimately, a member here in town, Kevin Jolly, recommended OBS as a platform. So this is a home broadcasting sort of software application. And so I did a frantic, we planned to go ahead on the second Thursday of April to be our first broadcast live event. But even by the weekend before, we didn't really have a solid approach for how we were actually going to do this. So that weekend, I did a crash course of learning how to use OBS and connect everything up. And we went live on that second Thursday. And it all came together. There were a few rough patches, but all in all, things came together very nicely. And with Jen's help, with my wife's Lyda's help to be able to run the presentations. We've added things as we've gone along. So I've added additional cameras so that I can do a one shot that's of my head and the strumming. I have what I call the strum cam, which is another camera down low that focuses just on my left and right hands. That gives people the opportunity. I can also lean in closely so I can show people my fingers. But we've added things as I've learned how to add in graphics, how to loop in other Zoom, so we can have people who are on a Zoom call. We've done this. Jen and I have hosted a couple of workshops. We've hosted a couple of open mic fundraiser events where we can have people in their own homes on a Zoom conference, and that itself becomes an input into our live stream out to YouTube. And it's been terrific. It's allowed Jen and I to reach out to people all over Texas, the United States, and all around the world that we never would have been able to reach out to prior to being forced into a virtual format.
Sure, sure. So, Jen, I believe you were helping then with doing the live streams just to keep everything sort of live. Tell me a little bit about your involvement with that.
We knew that it would be helpful to have some moderation of the live chat, answering questions and kind of helping people connect. So since that very meeting on April 10th, 2020, I have moderated every one of the 2-hour live streams and connected with our members and friends from locally in Austin, as well as far as, Australia and Singapore and Brazil. We have folks that stay up late or get up early where they are. We have friends joining us from Germany and England, of course.
Wow.
So sometimes we make connections of friends in the same country. They find out there is another ukulele player in Brazil or something like that.
Yeah.
Keep the conversation going. And then we also, sometimes folks have a question for Bob, and I will take that question, text it to Bob's wife, Lyda, and Lyda will let Bob know that there's a question specific to a technique he's working on, and so he can address it live during the stream. So that's, been a big part of helping the live stream feel a little bit more personal.
Absolutely. What a big part you've played there as well. I would be petrified if I was Bob and I had all these cameras, from the strum cam to the face cam to the uke cam to the graphics and everything, and trying to keep everything going, and then listening to via Lyda and yourself to questions that are coming in from people. Wow. I mean, that is just amazing how you've managed to do it as a team. It's just, astonishing to hear.
Just to add to what Jen said, it creates an almost real time back and forth, doing it on the YouTube channel. As I mentioned, it's a broadcast mechanism. So I don't see anybody out there. I don't even get to watch the live chat as there's so many other things going on. But between Jen, and I'm afraid Jen doesn't really even get to play that much because her fingers are so busy on the keyboard virtually the entire time. But getting a question, shooting it over to my wife, Lyda, who's immediately to my left, who can say, there's a question. And so obviously there's a bit of a lag, but within a couple of minutes between Jen getting it out and Lyda getting it to me, it can respond in almost real time. So I think it helps to really, really create that live interactive element to it. So it's absolutely crucial, and it's made all the difference in making these things work, in my opinion, having Jen do that.
Yeah. What a team. It's a shame that Lyda isn't here. We could say thanks to her as well. So please do that when we finish this recording, because she's again a key element within the team.
We have a big thanks to Lyda and then a couple of friends from the other Austin ukulele group, because they've helped us make some videos, as you've probably seen, Peter, of our songs, kind of a collaborative video that is post meeting of people sending in a recording where they play along with Bob, and then we can still kind of have that group video feel. So we owe a big thanks to Marty Porter and Paul Butler as well. So yeah.
Fantastic. So if people wanted to check out some of your videos, like say on YouTube, how would they do that? What's the name of the channel?
It's just the Austin Ukulele Society. So if they were to go to YouTube and do a search for Austin Ukulele Society, it would pop right up. And there is a playlist there of all of the live streams that we've done since April of 2020. They can also go to our website, austinukulelesociety.com. There is a menu at the top. If you click on the music library page, it has a list of every song we've done for the last over 10 years now, with links to the lead sheet, the song sheet that I've created, the presentation with the exercises, a link to the group videos. If I've done a demo video of my arrangement, if there's a video of us all together playing, there's that as well. So essentially all the things we've done. If you wanted to go to a central location, you could go to our website. The music library page gets you to everything.
Wow, that's fantastic. So yes, head over to there after watching this video. Now, I always like to ask my interviewees to play a tune to sort of play us out, sort of thing. And Bob, you volunteered to do something for us. Jen's going to be sort of applauding and singing in the background. But what would you like to play for us, Bob?
I thought I would do the song "Here Comes the Sun." I think it's probably the favorite song I've learned during our isolation time. It's a group song that we did. There's a wonderful group video of about 30 different of our members joining in with me. And I think you, Peter, have a personal connection to the composer of that song, if I'm not mistaken.
Mr. Harrison, yes, absolutely. So would you like to give us a demo?
Sure, be happy to.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Little darling, the smile's returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Little darling, it's been a while since slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been It's all right. It's all right.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much indeed. You know, this has been absolutely fabulous. It's been great to talk to you all. I'll just go back on the other view so we can see everybody. There we go. A big thanks to yourself, Bob, and also Jen. Thank you on behalf of everybody who's been watching you, and hopefully some new friends as well that will be made after watching this video. To those watching, please leave some comments in the YouTube channel, and I'm sure Bob and Jen will be able to pick up on them. So for now, let's finish with a big old aloha.
Aloha.
Mahalo.
Comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun. It's all right.